you guys? Yes.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Yes.
Welcome to the new Gossip Garden podcast.
The Tusky takeover.
Yeah, it's me, hi, Tusky, and I'm the boss.
The resurrection of the Gossip Garden has brought us out from our graves.
Yeah, our old hag graves.
You decrepit old ladies, go get some jobs.
Yeah, no. Make me. This is my job now.
You're such an influencer.
I know. Me and all my followers.
So, should we do little introductions?
Yeah, sure. You go first.
All right. If you ever listen to the Gossip Garden podcast, you might recognize my voice. If not, you might recognize my name. I'm Ratchet Rachel. Was one of the admins on the Gossip Garden pre-Discord era before we handed the reins over to Garden Cat.
I'm Tusky. I was also pre-Discord. And that's it. I don't know what else to say about myself.
Co-host of the Gossip Garden podcast.
I was also doing the Gossip Garden podcast and hot takes, and now I'm just not doing that until right now because
we've been summoned.
We've been
by the drama.
Summoned.
Colleen brought us back from the dead. What a queen.
Colleen brought you together in the first place, and you know, it's just a little full circle moment.
I can't wait for her to tear us apart.
Oh, that's so
tearing us apart, Colleen. No,
I am
still BFFs. Thanks to Colleen.
Oh, that's so cute. That's adorable. I love that she did that for you guys.
Me too.
And I am the Garden Cat. My username on the Gossip Garden forum was Pretend Cat. When the website was ending, I pitched the idea to turn it into a Discord server and accidentally became the co-owner of it, and it was a wild ride. And then I totally stole the Twitter account and took over that as well because
we had
I don't know, they let me, so that's really it. So I kind of changed the name to the Garden Cat and started going by that instead. And and then eventually we decided to end the whole thing.
No, I destroyed the garden. I decided to power trip and destroy the garden. Please give me the credit I deserve.
Once we got a hefty payout from the Ballinger family, we decided to shut it down.
I'm fucking rich now.
Exactly.
That's why we don't have jobs.
Yeah.
That's a good segue to explain why I guess we're having this conversation in the first place.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I guess there's been some stuff circulating around. We're obviously not here just to talk about like the Gossip Garden, but also the entire controversy. But we did also want to clear up rumors that the Gossip Garden ended apparently because we were intimidated and paid off by the Ballinger family. And I am so sad to have to tell anybody who hears this that that's actually not the case. We're all still broke, and we've never spoken to a single member of the Ballinger family. So
that's
not why the Gossip Garden ended. The Gossip Garden ended because it was time to move on. That's simply what it comes down to. Is time to move on and do other things.
It was just like, I think, and I mean, obviously, a select few ruin it for the majority, like with literally everything ever. But it does get like really tiring having to argue with people about like stupid, mundane little things that don't really matter.
Exactly, especially when like nobody gets paid for that. I would just show up and go on my computer or go on my phone and have to argue with people all the time and have people upset with me and annoyed with me over like a 400 member Discord server about a YouTuber, and that amount of pressure and conflict is just not really a healthy environment. So
no, and being told you're a terrible person for asking people to just engage in basic human decency, where they're like, why can't I call someone a pedophile unfounded? I think that's fine. Like,
What do you mean I
So-
can't make fun of somebody's nose and
and their
talk
weight
about yeah,
and everything.
you know, speculate on their medical illnesses and make
Yeah.
extreme claims with very little evidence to back it up.
And
Yeah.
that's the thing,
It's
like,
freedom of speech, baby. I should be able to say what I want. Oh,
if
they never
that's
let
what,
us gossip anymore.
yeah, if that's what someone wants to do, that's their prerogative. Like, go for it and make a Discord and make a Reddit, do what you want. But, like, everybody has their own moral code and they want things run the way they're in, like, a space they feel comfortable in. And for us, we didn't vibe with that. And I understand that
Yeah.
pissed people off, and some people wanted to go and felt that those discussions were important for whatever reason. But we didn't. We didn't think that. We felt that they do enough damage without having to bring up their weight or like
Or
how
alleged
kids.
mental
Yeah.
illnesses.
yeah, like I just
Yeah, gatekeeping trauma, like so much stuff that just did not really need to be discussed.
yeah.
And you know what? I do think it's valid to be like, oh, the rules are too strict. You know, we should be able to say what we want. And it's like that's completely valid, but then like
It's a
go
slippery
somewhere
slope.
else. And I
Yeah.
think that was a constant point of conflict is whenever we would say like you feel free to leave, people would take that as an attack and be like you always say that shouldn't be your go-to. Why don't you just listen to what we're saying? And it's like I'm not saying it as a fuck you, like get out of my server. I'm saying like you can do the things that you want to do, just do them somewhere else. Like find a
Exactly.
community that will have those conversations with you.
Yeah, and
You
like
know,
the
like-
reason why I think the Discord and the site was like a little bit more popular in the end wasn't just because Guru Gossip fucking sucked and the bakery fell apart, but it was also because it was a nice little community of people who were talking shit, getting it off their chest, but not going too far.
Yeah.
And that was the hard thing, is drawing the line for people of what they could and couldn't say. Because I understand, you know, you get a very like bitch eating crackers moment where everything they do, you
Sure.
just want to like shit on them for everything about it. But and then also we had these rules in place. We had to apply them consistently, because if you start letting things slide, like, well, it's kind of on the line, but sure, then it's like, well, how much further can I push this? Like, we
Mhm.
wanted things to be consistent. We weren't playing favorites. If you broke a rule, we deleted the post. You know,
And you
it
know-
was
Yeah.
that simple.
And then we saw firsthand what happened when you let something slide for too long. And then that was basically the catalyst of why the Discord even ended. Is like we were, I think, at least I was trying to be way too people pleasing and I
Oh,
let a
for
lot of
sure.
stuff go. And then when it got to the point where I was like, okay, I can't have like this stuff going on in the server anymore, it blew up in my face because they were like, well, you never warned me or you never told me that what I was doing was wrong. And it was just like, yeah, I can admit to that and take accountability and acknowledge that I didn't do that. But at the same time, it's still my server, and if I want you out of it, you are getting removed.
Yeah, and I
And,
think it was harder for you than it was for us as well, in a sense, because we could say, oh, well, you know, we had to follow Pro Board's rules, or when we had our own
Yeah.
website, GoDaddy's had like rules as well that we had to fit within. So we did have to be a little bit more cautious. But when you're on Discord and it's like a private server, it's a
like a
little bit more
free-for-all.
Wild West. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and my problem too was that like I wanted to be involved as a participant, and it was hard to be involved as a participant when I'm also trying to like I don't know, for lack of a better word, discipline people or like
Yeah.
call people out when they're breaking rules. Then it's like, well, no one likes me, no one wants to talk to me. I felt like whenever I chimed in on the like gossip and stuff, people didn't really care about what I had to say because they all kind of just like didn't really like me as a person because I'm like, hey, don't say that. That's against the rules.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I think that just kind of like the line got blurred between participant and like admin,
Mhm.
which made it difficult in the long run to really like kind of keep things in line. And I think that's
Yeah.
basically how it all unraveled essentially is that I was just like I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, respectfully, you know, I mean, it's not like we didn't want to hear people's opinions on how things should be run. We were always open to hearing suggestions or, you know, people's concerns about the rules. But at the end of the day, people felt like, well, if I have enough people that say they think it should be like this and it needs to be like this, and it's like, well, I got news for you. We're the ones paying for this GoDaddy website and we're setting the rules. So Either
Yeah.
follow the rules or get out. That's what it comes down to. Like, I'm not going to say it's okay that you say that Colleen has an eating disorder when there's no official evidence proving such, just because you think you should. I'm not gonna be down for it. I'll hear your arguments and I'm gonna say that's great. The rules aren't changing. So
And I think that not everybody knows what happened, but like one of I think the big catalysts for like Rachel and I was when we were literally threatened to be sued by a user for banning them because they said that they wanted to punch Colleen. And that was a lot, and it was really like, I know in hindsight there's nothing anyone could do. You know, no one was going to be able to sue us, but we were still at the time very not kind of naive about it. Like we read it, we panicked, and we did what we could to not get sued, you know.
yeah,
I think it's completely valid to be like, okay, this has gone too far. These people care too much, and this is not a healthy environment.
Yeah.
yeah. Because the
So-
thing of it is, you know, they were like, you're violating my freedom of speech, and I'm like, I don't have to owe you any freedom of speech on a website that I'm paying for. I don't owe you anything. You can have your freedom of speech in your own home and your own whatever outlets that you have, but I don't have to allow it. But it was
yeah,
scary
exactly.
because you still have to wonder, like, what if they actually did? You know, that could incur legal fees, and it just was stressful. And I was like, I don't need this in my life for people that are going to treat me like this. So
Yeah, it got
like
very
over,
not
over
fun.
YouTube drama. Like that's what really makes me laugh is that like so much conflict and stuff has come out of it over fucking Colleen Ballinger, dude.
Fucking
yeah.
She really did that. She really went there.
I know. She probably loves it too.
Yeah, honestly.
Okay, so
Josh
did you guys
also
want
loved it.
to
So
He
talk
did.
about but he did. He loved it a bit too much. Did you want to kind of go in order of like the things that I mentioned, or should we just like
Yeah, sure.
Because I think it would be cool to hear about like how the transition from like Guru Gossiper to the bakery and everything like that happened as well. Since we already talked about like the garden to Discord transition.
Yeah, sure. Can I talk about that, Rachel? And then
yes, because I wasn't on Guru at all. I only
Yeah.
joined at the bakery.
Okay, so I started on Guru because I used to read all the little Kalal threads on there, and it was like the time of my life. And then Colleen started annoying me, so I joined those ones. And at first it was okay, but then people were getting upset with how the mods were running things. People were accusing the owner of like deleting people's DMs and stuff and reading DMs and making sure that like when shit did hit the fan, we couldn't communicate with each other where to go and stuff. So everybody kind of went fuck it, and they found the bakery.
So were you part of creating the bakery, or was that like
No.
somebody else that made that?
That was already an existing gossip site.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't made specifically for the Ballingers.
No. It
Gotcha,
was
okay.
yeah. I can't even remember who they gossiped about on there. But
Because the only time I've ever been on there was to look at Colleen stuff.
same.
Yeah,
but
It's
same.
fun though,
I
like
joined
looking back on those
specifically for
forums and
that.
like finding your usernames and stuff. I'm like, aw, look
Such
at their little internet
babies.
footprint.
And then yeah, I was on the bakery, and I became a mod on there. And
Slay.
I don't remember what happened, but there was a falling out between
I
myself.
can't remember the person's name.
I think I only remember his actual name. I don't remember his username.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything, but
Was it another mod?
no, it was a user. So
I see.
I feel like there was some favoritism or someone they didn't like they went for when they shouldn't have, and I kind of took the side of the user, not the side of the mods, and shit hit the fan. I could be 1,000% off base here, but I'm pretty sure that was the catalyst of what happened. And at that point, I'd kind of been talking to, it was Rachel, Nolita Flats,
Mhm.
Smashly, and was it Gossip Granny at that point or no?
I think Gossip Granny was on the bakery, yes.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the other person's name.
Yeah.
I don't remember her real name.
Yeah, I only remember her real name as well, but she didn't come until a little bit after. Like, we'd already made the
Oh yeah,
garden.
you're right. I think Smashly brought her in.
Yeah. But, I don't know what came over us, but we just were like, let's make our own. Like, we'll just go take it somewhere else. Like,
The Savage Gossip Garden. The Savage
Yeah.
Gossip Bakery.
yeah, so everybody left there and they locked the threads and shit, and people were getting banned left, right, and center. So I was like, come to Pro
That was
Boards.
crazy. I remember reading that just like, and it had happened years prior at that point because I was just like looking at the site for like receipts and shit, and I could see the comments of like this actual breakdown happening.
It's
It was
wild.
like really interesting to go back and read.
And I was like on the inside as well. Obviously, it wasn't that important because I don't remember anything from it. But like, I do remember. I'm like, I'm never coming back to this site again. But then I had to go back to get receipts.
Yeah.
So jokes on me, and it showed me online, and I was really embarrassed.
Actually, you can hide your online status.
Yeah, but I was already showing as online when I logged in. You have to
Ugh,
log in to hide it, so
that's fair. Okay, you got me there.
yeah.
So that's how that's how it went from bakery to garden.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the same way it goes every other time.
Yep. We hate fuck the mods. We're starting our own shit.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if, like I said, I mean, and that was the thing of it. We were never holding people hostage at the garden. We were welcoming them, like, if you want to start your own, where you can just say anything you want and check, then you are more than welcome to do that. We didn't like how the bakery was run, so we started the garden.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
it suited our needs. We took the initiative. We did it. If you don't like it, then don't participate.
Fucking make your own. It's not hard. I'm a dumbass. Like, fucking, if you can make an email and make a password, you can make a Pro Boards, and you can make your own.
Yeah. Yep. It's also
What?
very
Like, it's
easy to
hard?
accidentally fuck up an entire GoDaddy website. So
Oh, Rachel, do you want to share what happened to the garden?
I don't want to talk about it. That was actually really the catalyst that I broke the whole website trying to do an update on something.
Yeah, I remember when it was down for like a day.
Yeah, and I was on the phone with GoDaddy. I paid them over $100 to restore like a previous save that was completely wrong. Which they didn't end up refunding me because I'm like, this is not what you said you were giving me.
Oh, I'm glad you
and
got that money back because Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I almost threw up, honestly. I was so sick that I did that. And
it was
and
while
at
I was on holiday too.
yeah. And at that point, we just I think that was when we just threw in the towel, wasn't it? We never got it back up. We were just like, you know what?
We
We're
gave
kind of
up
over
on
this
that and we
anyway.
went back to Pro Boards.
We didn't go back to Pro Boards.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we went back to Pro Boards. We were like, quick, come back here. And then the Discord got made.
No,
I
because
mean,
I remember you guys posting an
sorry.
announcement of like we can't I think somehow you got the website back up very shortly and it was just like, yeah, we've decided to just like call it quits. And I was like, why don't we make a Discord?
Yeah.
Famous last words.
Yeah.
I thought that was the catalyst that we were like,
I mean, yeah, it was.
We had lost threads. We had lost so much of it that we were just like, fuck it, we're done.
I feel like at that point, I just didn't care. Like, you were so upset. And I'm like, it's fine. Everything's fine. Who cares? Don't worry about it. And I'm like, wow, I really, didn't give a shit.
Yeah. I felt like I'd let everybody down. We had lost all the threads, all the things people had said.
Yeah.
I felt terrible.
I wonder if there's someone way back.
I don't know.
Probably.
I mean, the Pro Board site is still there.
Yeah.
I think.
We did get all the receipts, though, so that's fine.
Yeah, there's like multiple copies of the timeline, the summary of events.
Yes.
We did
I
that.
Nolita Flat did a lot of that, and I will give her credit for that.
Yeah. Listen, Nolita, while it all went south, they did a lot in the beginning and stuff, and they were really helpful with a lot of it, and they do deserve that credit. And Smashley as well with all the IT shit. She was really good with that. So
Yep. On
I
a
do
personal
thank them
level,
for
it didn't
that.
work out, but
Yeah.
you know.
But like, you know, whatever, it was years ago. Who gives a shit? We move on. We're adults.
Yeah.
So what else happened on the garden?
Oh, wow. We had some cheeky little visitors on the garden. Would you like to talk about that, Rachel?
Well, so one time we had a user that would just occasionally be popping into the Josh thread, always posting very supportive stuff, which, to be fair, at that point in time, most of us were pretty pro Josh, immediately post divorce kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I still I don't fully regret that. He was really going through it. My feelings on Josh on a personal level have kind of changed, but he still really got fucked up in that all. Like he didn't deserve to be cheated on and dragged the way he was. So anyway, as admins of the site, you know, it would come up with like high level information about users, like their location based on their IP and things like that. And one day Tusky messages me and goes, you know, there's this user that's in the Josh thread sometimes says that they're in Macon, Georgia.
Suspicious.
She's like, I think it's Josh's mom.
Yeah. So like we could ban people and stuff. We were able to see their IPs and it would automatically tell you where they're from.
Oh yeah, that's how Creepshow Art got fucking exposed on LolCow because of her IP.
Use VPN,
like, obviously,
kids.
people who run boards can see that stuff. So yeah, you'd think that, I don't know, turn on a VPN.
Yeah. Anyway, we've been sponsored by NordVPN. No, we haven't, but wouldn't that be great?
That would be nice. Unfortunately, we are not profiting off of this.
Crying and shaking.
Yeah.
This is personal vengeance only.
Yeah, this is personal. Gossip Garden. This time it's personal.
I'm trying to see if I can find the screenshots of what Josh's mom had said on Twitter. When Josh
about
was
the
just
Gossip
like,
Garden?
The Gossip Garden is officially ending.
Oh, I have that, I think.
So yeah, Josh's mom said, I'm proud of my son and all that he stands for. He is kind, loving, and giving with a heart of gold. Stand strong, my Josh. To all who spend their time gossiping instead of spreading love and kindness, I love you more than words. That's so sweet.
I just want to say
that's so sweet of you to say that when you were also on the website participating.
So yeah, so like, okay, so it was like at that point we were talking to Josh, weren't we?
Yes.
Yes. So we were talking to Josh. We'll go into that at some point. But his mum posted something and I double checked again and it was still Macon, Georgia. So I I messaged Josh. I'm like, hey, is this your mum? And he's like, yeah. and he's like, she means well. Protect her. And I'm like, of course we did our best. Like, one thing is, while we weren't in the pocket of anyone, obviously, and it was nothing like that, but we did try to keep people anonymous, and his mum was one of those people where we were just like, look, please be careful with what you're commenting because people will figure it out.
Yes. Yeah. And she posted like what, maybe like 20 times or something.
Less. I reckon she posted like 4 times.
Yeah, I mean, and it was always just something very positive or just kind of being like, yeah, Josh has really been wronged, like
shit talking Colleen, which is like, go queen. Get her.
Yeah.
Go for the jugular. That's a mummy one on your team.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, and that was just another one of the lines that we kind of drew in the sand that, you know, Josh's mom, obviously she's appeared in like his vlogs and stuff, but she's not really putting herself out there. Like, we didn't want to subject her to further discussion,
Yeah.
or interrogation. Like, there's no need for it. It's kind of the same way that we treated the divorce records with Gwen and Tim. I'm like, they're not, Gwen inserts herself a lot. Tim's just along for the ride, but I'm like, they're not YouTubers.
Yeah.
Like, we're
And
not
it's
here to
not
discuss them.
Yeah. There's a point where it's not our business. And like, that doesn't mean we tried to control conversations around those people. We just tried to give them the non-YouTuber anonymity. I can't say it.
Anonymity?
Yeah, that they deserved. Like I
they
don't
don't
know.
need their court records posted.
Yeah,
on a public forum.
exactly.
Was there also a time where like his aunt or something was on the website? Because I remember maybe hearing that, but maybe it was a rumor.
No, she was. She announced herself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I feel like I remember reading a post that literally said like, I'm Josh's aunt.
Yeah. I can't honestly remember all the specifics around that because I think she just pretty much came, and she came to shit talk us, I'm pretty sure, because we weren't as in favor of Josh anymore. And
oh, yeah. She wasn't happy with what we were saying.
Yeah. So I think she came to like chastise us, and then I can't even remember if we like blocked her.
There was someone else as well though that was friends with them, right? That came on and confirmed a few things, but they stayed anonymous.
I don't remember.
I vaguely remember.
It might have been before my time.
Yeah.
But although I did remember seeing the aunt post, so that's weird.
Yeah. I honestly can't quite remember what we did with that. If we blocked her or if we just let it go. I think we might have just let it go because we're like, well, if you're gonna put yourself out there, then we'll let you subject yourself to whatever you get.
Yeah,
Good
you're
luck,
like,
have fun.
You're protecting Josh's mom, out of respect for her, but if she's just like, if the other person is just gonna come on in and announce their name and then be like, fuck you guys, then
yeah,
kind of a free for all at that
dad
point.
ever on the site?
No, not that we know of anyway.
Yeah.
He was too busy doing his own things.
Yeah, he was busy.
Yeah, he was very busy that day. But yeah, so when the divorce kind of first happened and the bakery switched to the garden, that's when we started talking to Josh as well. So we had a little group chat, him and some other gardeners and Granny, Rachel and I.
Yes. And he was actually, we added him to the chat. Like, he did not ask to be there.
Yeah.
We thought it was funny and we put him in it, and he didn't say anything for a long time.
Yeah, he lurked.
Just to butt in for a second because of, the context of the actual like current controversy, you guys are all over the age of 18 at this time. Yeah. So
Yes.
he was
We're
not
all
in a group chat with
overage.
minors. Just we don't need to add another layer of controversy. So just to clarify, they were all adults. In
we're
fact,
all
they were
above
all
18.
old hags. So
Yes, we're just old dried up ladies. I mean, to be fair, some of them, Smashley was
21.
pretty young. Yeah, like she was pretty young. Josh was like mid-30s, so, but it's still like, it wasn't like 16, 12-year-olds, nothing like that.
Inherently, like, no inherently inappropriate thing like going on. Just because there is a lot of that, unfortunately, coming out with Colleen. I was like, I don't want.
Not in terms of age things, but
yeah.
There were inappropriate things that were said.
Other inappropriate things being said. But no fraternizing.
There was nothing in there that wasn't of consent, I would say, or like yeah, there was nothing like some stuff made me uncomfortable, but that was just my own personal thing where I didn't give a shit that it was happening. I didn't give a shit that like other people were enjoying it. It was just for me. I was in a relationship with someone, and I didn't really want to, be in a
So
group
when
chat
you
where a
guys,
dude's flirting, and I didn't want to be caught up in that.
so you guys made the group chat and added him, and he lurked for a while. When did he start like chiming in to actually talk to you guys?
Isn't
I
it?
feel like it was months, honestly.
Didn't he put the flower in his name? The
No,
wilted rose.
he always had that
Yeah, I
stupid
think
balloon in his name.
yeah, he had the red balloon.
Oh
Probably still
yeah.
does.
He did have the
Um,
wilted flower for a bit, though, I remember, because everyone on the garden was like, oh my god, and I was like, yeah.
yeah, I'm like looking at
It's
my screenshots I have saved. The screenshot date on this says like late August of 2017. So, which actually maybe it wasn't that long then, because I don't think I even joined the bakery until like May of 2017. Because I remember it was after I had gotten laid off from a job and I had some time on my hands. But yeah, I've screenshotted this. And it was funny because Gossip Granny was in the chat and she had written, "Did you guys see that?" Because it showed like Josh was typing and that had never happened before.
no.
And he just said, I'm just going to read it off. He said, "I sincerely appreciate every ounce of support and every moment of kindness all of you have shown me and my family. You owe me nothing, so thank you for putting yourselves out there. My mom also appreciates y'all. Never put your neck on the line for me if it feels like it'll bring any pain into your own lives, but seriously, thank you, all of you." And so I think like that day we had probably been like getting flooded with minions, as we called them at the time.
Yeah.
Like viciously kind of going after us. And I think we were discussing in that chat, and Josh kind of saw it all happening and I guess felt compelled to say something for us sticking up for him.
Yeah, I think it also might have been that he probably posted some shit and everyone went to the garden to fight about it. And Twitter.
Probably.
Yeah. Because that's usually how it went.
So was the group chat before or after the whole like you guys were sending like secret signals, Remember like the Patrick like booty clapping up in your bed and all that, like the snail emoji stuff was.
I do remember that. That was actually I think when we were still in the bakery.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
shit.
still bakery times.
Because we were like,
Okay.
if you're reading the bakery, make a tweet with this in it, and he would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, so he was actually kind of invested for a while.
What a mood though, weren't we all?
It's weird though because he like on one hand he confirmed that she cheated on him in so many different ways, but then at the same time he blames the garden for like exposing it or something. It was weird because he had said like, "Oh, you guys exposed my heartbreak and blah blah blah," and it's just like, but you were the one confirming and sending signals that like we were onto something, or like, sorry, I should say you guys are like onto something. So that I don't understand. Like he was in people's YouTube comment section saying stuff. He was just being super emo like on main.
I
everywhere.
think he just needed someone to blame. I think that he was going through his own thing. And I think that at that point he was tired of being angry at himself and he lashed out at us.
Yeah.
Maybe he believes it, maybe he doesn't. I don't know.
Well,
the phrasing of it was just weird though, because it sounded like he was saying he learned about the cheating through the garden when I'm pretty sure it was the other way around.
No, I think he put the pieces together with the garden, didn't he?
Maybe.
I would think so. I mean, I would imagine he has to know. He had to have known beforehand.
He probably had an inkling.
Because I remember
Go ahead.
I have scoured the internet trying to find this for years. I swear to God, he was on Jason Sully's stream and made a comment about being cheated
I have that.
We were there for that. Oh, those were good times.
I've been looking for this clip for years, dude.
Oh, I have it. I have a screen recording of it.
So I'm like, he confirmed it. Like he basically confirmed it that he was cheated on by Colleen Ballinger, and then but then he was just like, oh, you guys exposed my heartache and blah blah blah, and it's like, so then what is it?
I
But he
think
was also
the way
probably
I
drunk
had
when he tweeted that. So
the way I had taken it was that he was more saying like he feels like we exploited his heartbreak for
maybe
like
Yeah.
gossip, you know.
that's a fair way to interpret that for sure.
But also, I mean, at that point in time, I can't remember the exact timing of things. We kind of blew up at him because he had made it was kind of divided in the chat, honestly. He had made a video that we felt like was basically saying that we were like shitty people, and then he tried to like we blew up in the chat like, who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah.
Like, and he tried to say like, oh well, I wasn't talking about you, I would have told you this. And so we kind of exploded on him. We left the chat. Some people I think stayed, or they started another chat of their own with him. And then amount of time after that is when we decided to close it down, and he made a tweet like, good riddance, fuck you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said, I have it here somewhere.
Yeah, I'm like scrolling through trying to find it. I have so many. This folder has like 300 items in it.
Jesus. I have nothing. I'm sorry. I can't serve a single thing but my bad memory.
He said, the Gossip Garden is ending. The internet has enough negativity. Live your lives now, ladies. And then in brackets, he wrote, spoiler alert. I opened up to you and expressed my entire heart, and you still found a way to expose my heartache and my own friggin' mother. Bye. In its simplistic form, fuck off.
Yeah.
Expose your heartache? Like, you guys never posted anything from that group chat.
No, we never did.
Like, the only reason I've seen it is because I'm literally friends with you. Like, none of
Yeah.
that stuff was ever leaked.
Yep.
But
So I just don't understand. He was so hostile towards you guys, and you just really did not deserve that at all.
yeah.
Well, and then what was extra weird? Does it have a date on that tweet by any chance?
Yeah, it was April 20th, 2019.
So,
Because I went off on him after he tweeted that, and I remember fighting for my life on Twitter.
He where did it? He followed us, like the admins of the Gossip Garden. He followed us on Instagram at one point because he was like, you know, it's like something on Twitter. He's like, I just want to like be able to keep in touch with you or whatever. And I was like, okay. So he like followed. Maybe it wasn't even just admins. It might have been everyone in that chat. I think.
Yeah, it was everyone in the chat except for me.
Wow, he said fuck Tusky.
No, actually, he did end up following me, and then I blocked him.
So you said that was April 2019, right?
Yeah.
So
420.
Okay, so on May 17th, he had replied to my Instagram story with just like a complimentary statement. It was a picture of myself. I had been on a weight loss journey, and he said, "Oh, you're looking great," or whatever. And I said, "Thank you, but I'm confused by this message when you were telling me to fuck off under a month ago. Not trying to start." And I said, "I'm not trying to start something. I'm just genuinely confused by this." And he said, "I made it." He said, "I made a mistake. I should never have said anything remotely close to what I said. It was a rough week dealing with my father, and I took it out in a random tweet like I usually do. I sincerely apologize for going off the rails like that and hope all is well." And I never said anything more after that.
Damn, well, he kind of, I mean, at least he owned up to it. He was like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, but don't privately apologize to one person. Tweet out, I was an asshole for that. Like, come on.
Yeah, he should have been like, hey, by the way, I take back what I said here.
Yeah,
because like it did add fuel to the fire of people hating the Gossip Garden, which is why a lot of the stuff when it comes to the Addams situation never really got taken seriously at the time, because the stands, the minions, explicitly hated the garden, and so obviously they weren't going to listen to us when we were like, hey, this person exploited this minor, and in their eyes they're just like, oh, it's the fucking old hags, they're just bored and they need to go touch grass.
Drake's on you, motherfuckers.
Like, I remember one member in the fandom, who has now kind of like just like everyone else, said that they, regret those times of their lives. This person had like made a meme directed at me that was like, that Bugs Bunny like format of the like I wish, what was it? I don't know, but basically the essence of the meme was like, I wish the Gossip Garden a very shut the fuck up. And I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like it's so mean, but also like this is why it annoys me that Josh did that because people didn't like him either. But
Right.
one thing they had in common was talking shit about the Gossip Garden.
Yeah, that's what brought us all together. Like, come on, man, don't take that away from us. But yeah, so he was like, I don't know. I personally, I think I sometimes was probably too harsh a critic of Josh at that time because I feel like he's not my cup of tea as a person, and that's like I'm probably a shitload of people like not their cup of tea. That I don't think that's a horrible thing to say about someone, but like I didn't vibe with him, and I didn't always vibe with how he spoke in chat. I didn't vibe with some of the things he told us that he shouldn't have told us. And I wasn't into that like at all. So I was a lot more critical of him on the garden. And I
Yeah.
think that probably bothered him a little bit too.
Probably, yeah.
But I definitely I was biased against him, not for him.
Low-key, I've always been a Josh hater, so I was down for it. I remember some people on the garden coddled him a little bit too much. Like in the Colleen thread, they would be like, "Oh, she needs to do this and do that and like speak up more." And then in the Josh thread, it would be like, "Oh, Josh should just like shut up and like keep to
Muto.
himself and stuff." And I'm like, it's so hypocritical that some of you want Colleen to like talk about the divorce, but when it comes to Josh, you're telling him to stay quiet. I'm like, no, let him cook, let him say what he needs to say. Stop trying to protect him.
Yeah, give us the
The
boss,
problem with
Josh.
Josh is that he wouldn't ever really go in. When in this folder of receipts, I have like that video he made where he said the actual truth about everything, part 1, and then
Oh, yeah.
deleted that video, never uploaded any other parts besides. I mean, the only thing he did in that video was like, "I'm gonna expose everything. Fuck you, Trisha Paytas," and then
Yeah.
nothing, which is fine. That's his prerogative. He doesn't have to put shit on the internet. But he was just. That's why we were eventually just like, "Shut the fuck up, Josh. Like, you're never gonna say it. So just." You either need to keep it in or you need to put it all out there. You can't just keep dipping your toe in the water. I get you're frustrated, but like I think that's, at least for me, that's where I was coming from. I'm like, you just need to keep your mouth shut if you're not going to open the door all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like at this point you're just like, because then people would accuse him of doing stuff for attention, and it's like this is why people accuse you of that because you're just posting stuff like this and then deleting it.
Yeah,
And not
which like I
actually
think
going
he would just get so frustrated that he felt like he had to say something,
Yeah.
but then like have immediate
No, I feel
remorse and
that.
like
Like,
stress.
I've been there. There's definitely people who have like upset me or like past relationships where I'm just like I want to like rip into them and make everyone see that they're a bad person. But and then you realize that like that's not really going to serve you at all. It's not going to make your life better. And I think he kept having those realizations. Like he would be, he obviously was struggling with like alcoholism and stuff like that, and so he would be drunk and then he would all of these emotions would come out, and then the next day he'd be like, "You know what? Actually, I don't need to put this online." And that's
Yeah.
valid.
There was one more thing that came from the group chats. We are going to be vague about it because we still don't believe it's something that should be shared. But we do want to say people who know what it is know what it is. People who don't, it's not that interesting. Don't go searching for it. It's just private information that nobody needs to know. Very much like anything about his mum or his family or like personal stuff that he told us about his family and stuff. Like we're not gonna blast all of that, but we do want to acknowledge one thing that came from that did get leaked. And yeah, so it was Josh told us something about one of Colleen's family members that really shouldn't have been told, didn't need to be brought up, was kind of out of nowhere, wasn't it, Rachel?
Yes.
Yeah. And I think at that point that something that seriously started souring, like it soured Josh, us on Josh, Josh on us. I don't know what it is, whichever one. But so that rumor, unless he was telling other group chats as well, I presume we were the only ones who knew. And that somehow got leaked. But I do want to acknowledge that Josh telling anyone personal information about their lives that nobody else knows is just as fucked up as Colleen going in group chats and talking shit about things about Josh's family that nobody knows.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially because he even said, like, he made that snide comment, and you could tell that the only reason he shared that information was with you was because he wanted to get a jab in at Colleen. And it's like, it really wasn't even about Colleen, it was about other people in the family.
Yeah.
And it was just so petty and vindictive.
He
And,
had
you know, I
segued
guess,
off of some statements about Colleen, but it still was
yeah.
very out of left field and completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And now somehow that information was leaked, and it's like, it really sucks, you know? Because it makes me wonder if he did tell other people, and that's how it got out. Because the only other way that I know that it got out was some story that somebody told me of, like, the website getting hacked or something, right? And, like, I just don't know how much I believe that.
Yeah.
That's just the story that I was told. So
in
I don't know.
terms
The
of
whole thing
like,
is just,
you mean like the actual evidence?
yeah, like the way
Josh
that
did
this.
not share that with us.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
he didn't.
he just kind of summarized it.
He just literally
Said
dropped
it,
the
yeah.
bomb without any further context or that there was any verifiable information online. He
That's
literally
so-
just dropped the bomb and hoping that we would publish it on the site is
So
what I
that's-
believe his intentions
That's why
were.
it's so
Yeah.
confusing of how it got leaked. Like, I really want to know, because the story I was told was someone found so and so's login password combination through some kind of database where you could search breached information they've collected. And then
Yeah.
they said something like that. My understanding is kind of vague. And it's like, well, my understanding is also kind of vague, because what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame that that got out there somehow, and it's really, to me, a little suspicious that the first time it was ever mentioned was by Joshua. So I really
Yeah.
hope that it wasn't because of him.
Me
But there's
too.
no way to know for sure.
Yeah.
We don't know who ultimately found it or how. But I can say that Josh did not provide that. He literally just wrote in that group chat, dropped the truth bomb, and went, oops. Like, he literally said oops after it. Like, my bad, I shouldn't have said that.
Oh my god,
But
it's so
yeah.
annoying. Fucking
yeah,
Yeah, he loved it. He really loved it.
he knew what he was doing. And honestly, and it was a while after that before it officially, like, kind of hit the airwaves, I think. So,
Yeah, I got the
Um,
message January 27th, 2020 is
yeah.
where
I mean,
the person reached out to me and then showed me all of the screenshots.
yeah. I mean, this would have blown up. I don't know. I'll have to check my screenshots. I don't know if it has appropriate timestamps on it, but it was at least a year or more before that, probably, that he told
Yeah.
us.
So sketchy.
But there were people in the group leaking it to other people that we already knew
Yeah.
about. So I wouldn't be surprised if after everything split off, Josh went with them and they started sharing shit.
Yes, somebody had posted on the garden that was like a relatively new member that said, I know someone that's in a group chat with Josh who told me that Josh said the last thing he said to Colleen was, I hope you're thinking of me when you're fucking Eric, which is something that he said to us.
I love that.
But for all I know, I mean, he could have had other group chats with other people and told them, but that
Exactly.
definitely raised big red flags to us because there were, I don't know, 10 people in this group chat. Maybe it was not like a lot of people in there. So,
Yeah.
and we actually ultimately kicked someone out that we felt was responsible for it, even though she said she was not. She was kind of shady, and I don't know. I still feel secure in that decision, honestly.
Yeah, I don't feel bad. But what I can say is I didn't have to deal with any minors in that group. So
Very true.
Colleen Ballinger cannot relate.
Literally.
One thing about Colleen Ballinger is that she's gonna talk to minors in the DMs.
Yeah.
She's really good at
She's
doing that.
very under 18, isn't she? Like, she doesn't have any real, like, adult fans at all that she's kept around that I've noticed.
Yeah, she really doesn't.
Sus.
Like I said in one of
I
my
mean,
videos,
I
like,
was
the
an
only
I was
adults
an
that go
adult
are
fan.
people there bringing their children to see her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I was
Rachel,
an
you
adult
hate her.
fan.
So,
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I kind of liked her. I like Josh. I am a big fan of Jen and Julian. I found
No.
Josh through Julian. I found Josh through Julian. I started watching when he was doing his Euro vlogs at the time. And so I started watching I started watching some of Colleen's videos that she was making. I never got really into the Miranda stuff. That was always very strange to me. But I admittedly was a fully fledged adult at that point in time, but it was more an interest by proxy of Jenna and Julian.
But I feel like that too, like you weren't going to a Miranda show for Miranda. It's because you wanted to like support the community and like Josh.
Yeah, I was really upset that Josh was on at the one Miranda show I went to, honestly.
Yeah.
Can I just sorry, credit where due. Her I got into her through the Nicki Minaj cover.
That was a banger.
That was fucking
Honestly,
great. I'm sorry.
That was a great video of hers. I will give her that credit.
That cracked me up, but there's minors in it, so all I hope is that she got their permission to be in the clip when she's filming people on a fucking beach.
It's a public space. It's free.
True. True that.
Yes. All right, we've talked about Josh a lot. We've talked about, the timeline of events and how everything transpired. One of the things on the list was to clarify the mole situation. So there is an ex-Garden member who has been posting on TikTok, and I think they said it in a comment or like in a TikTok, I can't remember, where they were like they talked about there possibly being a mole and how we might have thought it was Adam at one point, or like we thought it was Jessica. And so just to clarify that, we never thought the mole was Adam because I mean at one point we literally had Adam in our Discord server. But I think like over the years, like whether it was on the website or, the Discord, it was just always just like a normal thing to speculate if they had a mole. I did see that this person had said, or maybe it was Adam who had said that Jessica was in the Discord server or something like that, but I don't think any of us are able to confirm that that's actually true.
No, we never had confirmation on anyone. We had suspicions.
Yeah.
Like, we definitely thought at minimum whether she had instructed or they volunteered to, we definitely thought she had her quote-unquote minions on the site sussing out information.
And
she did. I mean, she did. She definitely did, because she asked Adam to do that, to read the gossip forums for her. So there was definitely that on the website. On the server, I think we kind of like speculated, like maybe Jessica reads here, maybe Corey reads here, or maybe she's getting one of her minions to read here. But yeah, there was never any like for real confirmation.
Yeah, no.
What else?
Do you want to talk about Cody, or would you like to keep talking about Adam?
I guess we could talk about Adam because we've already mentioned him.
Yeah. You go, because you dealt with Adam. We didn't.
Yeah, so
really.
In 2020 when he posted his video, that was when we had already moved to the Discord server. And like it blew up in the server because everyone was like, this is it, like this is the moment, like she's going down. But the tides turned so quickly of people just blaming him for it, saying he asked for the lingerie and completely ignoring the main focus of the video, which was this is an adult person with power in this situation who is exploiting somebody who is underage. And, that message, I feel like, just didn't get the understanding that it deserved because so many people were focused on the stupid lingerie. And that it also was also fucked up. And people were just like, well, he asked for the lingerie, even though the clip is literally there for anyone to see where she asks him what he wants, and he says that he wants the dress. They basically ignore it, and then later in the stream, she's like, "I wanna give Adam the lingerie. Do you want it?" And then Adam's like, "Yeah," because he's what, like 13?
Yeah.
And his favorite YouTuber is offering to send him something, like, of course he's gonna say yes. And then the stands were like, "Oh, he says his parents never saw it, but then in this line he says that he gave a treat to his parents," or he says that he never even looked at the lingerie because his parents took it away first. But look, there's a screenshot of him as like a 13 or 14-year-old wearing the lingerie, so he's lying and he's a liar. So his entire story is untrue. And it's like people were focusing on such minute details and not really paying attention to what was actually being said. Which is now what we're seeing 3 years later. People are finally waking up and realizing that the main issue here is not really the lingerie. It's the fact that this grown ass woman was taking advantage of a minor and basically exploiting him for free labor. And
Yeah.
and then making a YouTube video where she apologizes by yelling at the camera and being like, "I'm not a groomer." Like,
Yes.
ugh. So anyway, I was able to actually talk to Adam a little bit at the time because I was being very supportive, obviously, and our entire community was being really supportive. And I kind of tried to support him on behalf of everybody. That led us to have conversations, and he opened up to me about some stuff. Like I told him my real name, my Instagram and stuff like that. He actually sent me merch for free, so like I gave him my address and stuff. Um, and I thought we were chilling. I was like, obviously, I'm not really wanting to be friends with you because at the time he was literally 17. And I don't want to have friendships with teenagers, but I just wanted him to know that he does have a group of people in his corner because we could see the truth of, what she did to him was not okay. But, it all kind of just got swept under the rug because of her apology video and so many YouTubers taking her side and the minions just being so extremely loud. And then
Mhm.
we find out all these years later that part of that is because Colleen was in the DMs with Cody Tyler,
Ugh.
basically trying to say like, "Oh, I don't want you to make a video about this and I don't know if I want you to take these screenshots out, but also here's all of my conversations with Adam. Here's my conversation with his mom. Here, take all these receipts. But no, don't make a video about it." And it's just like, dude, you know exactly what you were doing. If one of your fans also has a T channel, like, maybe don't give them receipts,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and have these conversations with them. Like, so it's just like, she's not that fucking stupid. Obviously, she knows. Obviously, she knew that Cody was gonna make a video, and Cody explicitly said she was gonna make a video. So and then Colleen just kept feeding them screenshots and receipts and stuff. And then that is basically how Adam's entire, truth got swept under the rug and minimized into, oh, this person was a fan and then got upset because a YouTuber stopped replying to his DMs. And it just turned into this like joke. So,
Yeah.
I get why he's so angry and I get why he's so emotional all these years later because it is nice to see that he's finally getting vindicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the same time, it must be hard for him to uh continuously relive this over and
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
again.
For
So,
sure.
I'm glad he's getting like professional help and therapy and stuff like that because I can't even imagine being in this situation, being a child growing up on the internet and talking to somebody that you respect and you look up to so much just for them to basically take advantage of you. That's such a horrifying situation. And I'm just really glad that I guess because we're a little bit older, and of course you guys are a bit older than me as well. We kind of
No, we're not. We're
like
younger than you.
that didn't really happen to our age group because we didn't have so much access to people, and the people that we looked up to didn't have as much access to us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly that. Because, like, I mean, Rachel and I definitely were MySpace girlies. I don't know if Rachel was, but we were in
I
those
was.
era. Uh, and you had closer access to people, but it was nothing like it is now. Like, I would never think that I could be in, like, a DM with my favorite artist at the time or anything like that.
Right.
So we didn't have people that felt like you and I. Like, these are people on your computer, like in their home, filming themselves. It's not like fucking trying to DM Britney Spears or whatever, Like, it's a
Yeah.
completely different ballpark. So I do understand how you get more attached to that person. You feel like, I think if I could have DM'd Britney Spears back in the day and I felt like she genuinely cared about me and there was like a connection, like she was like, "Oh my god, I love you guys," or whatever she does, I don't know. But like, yeah, if it was like that, I would kill for Britney, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Kevin Federline would not be fucking off to Hawaii. He'd be dead. We wouldn't deal with that. I'm joking. We wouldn't kill him, but you know.
No. Maybe cut that out.
Yeah, I got a bit passionate about Britney Spears. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I Adam has really been through a lot. I don't agree with all of his choices that he's made necessarily, but I am glad that he is still trying to do what is ultimately the right thing here, because I do think that it's been a long time coming, and we've never really done anything more than like our podcast and obviously the board.
Yeah.
You had your video that you made, Kat, but it kind of, even now, even though there's so much happening right now, in my head I'm still like, this is not going to take her down. Like, she has weaseled out of every attempt at accountability ever, but now this is so prevalent and has so many key players from her fandom in it. She can't just call them haters. It was easy to just label us as haters, even though most of the people on the Garden were once upon a time Colleen fans.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just like, oh, well, they're just a bunch of haters. Don't listen to what they say. And it was easy to convince all her fans to think that we were just being insane, hateful people. Because we've seen it for a long time. But now that a lot of her fans that have been in the most inner circles are speaking out about this, I'm like, maybe this is going to be it. And I really hope that they keep persisting.
Yeah.
Because honestly, Colleen does not deserve her platform that she has.
So do you think that like the best outcome is that she does just stop posting?
I think so.
Yeah. Just
I
like
know
platform.
I know that she is providing on a personal level to people that, again, going back to like Jenna and Julian, like the true heartbreak I felt when Jenna removed herself from the internet. I understand how upsetting it will be to her still loyal fans if she were to leave the internet, but I think that is truly the best outcome. She is not providing a positive impact to anyone, in my
She's clearly
opinion.
abused her power in multiple ways, over the last 15 years. It's not just recently.
Yes.
So I kind of agree.
And I would say a lot of YouTubers are doing that as well. I would say it's not just Colleen. I think Colleen's really just the beginning.
I think, she's probably made enough money in her time. She could probably retire and not post again.
If she's invested wisely, absolutely.
Yeah, and
her husband is a successful actor.
She could also just, downsize her house and live in a normal house for normal people and potentially get a job. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't a lot of the minions or like stans who are still stans are just like, oh, she's a mother, she has 3 kids, she's providing for her children, you're affecting this family, and they forget that, just because you're canceled online doesn't mean you can't go get a job at a Walmart, or I'm sure that there's things that she could do in the entertainment industry that doesn't involve putting her face out there and still make money.
Yeah.
So I mean, it seems like Josh is doing that. It seems like Josh actually has a full-fledged job now that is not being on the internet.
Good for him.
What'd you say?
And it's
Good
like,
for him.
I'm just so annoyed at like people out there who are just like, oh, what do you want? You want her to go to jail? You want her kids taken away from her? It's like, obviously not. But I just think that if somebody abuses their position of power for this long, then maybe they should have that position taken away from them.
Yeah. And I think anybody normal about this who isn't like hardcore into it would feel like, I hope she learns from it too. I hope she takes a step back, looks at how she's treated everyone and handled herself, and realize she did fuck up and work on herself and be a better person. Like,
I don't think she can do that.
I don't think she can do that either, but I still hope that she does, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, but probably unlikely.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unfortunately.
her ability to manipulate and spin things, you know, I'm pretty sure it was Adam that had said, like, how would you feel if somebody did this to Flynn? And she was like, you're threatening my baby. Like,
Oh my god. My
Like,
brain melted when that happened. I was like, how can you be so stupid? How
because
dare you bring
they're
my
only
child
different.
into this? Like what?
Yeah.
He's just
He's trying to give you
talking
a
about a
frame of
hypothetical
realism,
situation so that you
like,
can empathize. And you're like,
Yeah.
how dare you bring my baby into your drama? Like, hello?
yeah,
Reading comprehension,
exactly.
perhaps?
It's drama. Would you want your child involved in this kind of quote unquote drama? Do you think that this is something that would be appropriate for him to eventually be subjected to? Besides the fact that you've
Yeah.
already put his entire life on the internet anyway, so fuck all of his personal life forever. But,
Yeah.
you know,
I just like that her reaction to that just gave him the answer and it went over her head completely. Like, she didn't
Yep.
stop to think, wait, hang on.
no.
So do you
And
guys
it
think
might
she's
have
gonna
even, but
post-
she would have.
Do you guys think she's gonna post an apology video anytime soon?
Nah.
I have no idea. At this point, I think she is either possibly engaging with an official PR team, because I don't know that she's ever done that before, honestly. Maybe she has, but she
Yeah,
just
she
seems
has.
to rely on her ability to manipulate her fandom. But as these articles keep coming out, I don't know if she's just trying to wait it out and hope it dies down and then she'll just pretend nothing happened. But at this point, I don't know how she could get away with never addressing it when there's so much. Because now people are going to be looking for it. Even if the news kind of dies down, the articles stop, as soon as she posts something, that is going to garner attention of people saying, why aren't you addressing this? The articles will start again. Like, I don't think she can get out of this at this point.
I saw that someone saying almost that exact thing on the Snark subreddit today, where someone was just like, even if she does wait for it to die down, she's just gonna reignite it herself by simply just coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, which
I
is
mean,
weird.
you
Like, I don't know.
saw, like, when Jenna and Julian got married and, like, he posted pictures of it, the internet exploded. It was all over Twitter. It was on all those little type websites. And that was, like, nothing. That was a good thing, you know? Like,
Yeah,
it's just
I
a
don't know
lot.
how I feel about all of it. Like, I can't tell if she's going to. I can't decide. I feel so confused because I feel like she is so stubborn and isn't gonna want to give up her YouTube career, and so she has to make an apology video. But at the same time, I'm like, we're getting past the point where nobody's really even gonna accept it, and it just seems like she's digging her grave further and further and further. So
Yeah.
I'm like, is she gonna post an apology video?
The
Does she
reality
know?
of it is that we all know that she has absolutely no remorse of any of this, and she is simply has to be outraged that people are quote unquote attacking. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, all those haters.
yeah. Like, I imagine she has been absolutely horrible to be around for the last 2 weeks. I imagine she is just in an absolute rage.
Probably.
And no remorse. Just how dare these people? All I've done for them.
Yeah.
And somehow still on tour, which is wild.
Yeah, when's her next show supposed to be?
I think there's one like this weekend.
Hmm.
Let me see.
I think like I have mixed feelings about an apology video because she's kind of damned if she does, damned if she doesn't at this
Mhm.
point. Like, I wouldn't take any apology from her now. You don't suddenly, like, people don't normally suddenly snap and realize they were wrong after this long and this many people already telling them they were wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she has a
She's
show
gonna-
on Friday.
I'm looking at, like, you Google Colleen, and it's all, like, the Rolling Stone article, another article about her being a groomer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That fucking TMZ article pisses me
She-
off.
I really just, like, I don't think she can get out of it this time. When it was, like, only Adam and, like, maybe a couple other things, it was easy to just try and get that shut down. She cannot shut this down now. I don't think.
I think
Yeah, she's gonna have this stuff associated with her name basically for the
Yeah.
rest of her life.
I think it'll end up like a Shane Dawson situation where she'll eventually come back and she'll just post and be like, "Oh my god, I'm so grateful, guys," like Shane does. But her
Yeah,
views
she's
will be
gonna.
like a quarter of what they were.
I feel like that'll probably happen too. Like, I can't see her staying away from the internet. I think she's just way too obsessed with herself. I
Yeah.
think she likes the attention and the views and the money that she gets off of it, and I don't see her like fully ever really getting off the internet until she's like an old lady.
Yeah. They better come for Chris and Jess next. Cause
Yeah,
like
I see people starting to talk about that too, because I'm like, a lot of the stuff that people are saying is inappropriate regarding Miranda, it was co-written and co-signed by Chris Ballinger, who, you know, has like a million children,
Yeah.
which is sketchy.
yeah. The
And
just
the fact that they don't let their own kids like watch the Haters Back Off TV show, but then they'll let their kids be in the Miranda Sings live show and be in Miranda Sings videos, and it's like you don't even let them watch the content that they're being involved in because it's inappropriate, but you're letting them be involved in it. Like that doesn't make sense.
and
If it's
also
too inappropriate for them to watch, then why are they starring in it?
yeah.
Mhm.
Just
And
makes me
also
sick,
if you're
honestly.
not like gonna let your kids have access to YouTube, why are you posting your kids on YouTube?
Exactly. Ugh, I just ugh. They really piss me off.
Yeah. I feel like that's a whole other tangent we could go off on, but
Oh my god, that could be a
maybe we
whole
shouldn't.
other.
Yeah. I said
Yeah.
maybe not on this
Podcast
one.
part 2.
I mean, I'm down. I just was like, this is Colin. We could talk about Rachel. We could talk about the Ballingers. We could talk about fucking Trent. Like, we could do a whole
Right.
other Ballinger episode if you'd like.
Like and subscribe.
Subscribe to the Garden Cat for more.
Exactly.
No, people are gonna be so
I
mean
don't
to
have-
me. in the comments.
I don't have a life, so I can just do this.
I had
don't
a
have a
Exactly.
comment
full-time
on my video
job.
that was like, "Oh, you came out of nowhere and you're profiting off of this and you're not adding anything new to the conversation." I'm like, I'm not adding anything new to the conversation because I'm reading the script of a video I wrote 3 years ago. And I'm not profiting off of this. I've got like 200 subscribers or whatever and 0 monetization. Like, I'm not trying to
You're
profit
just
off
in
of
it
any
for
of this.
clout.
The
We
people are
made
just so mean.
so much money off of the garden. We made like $20 whole from ads.
Yeah, get fucked.
We didn't
we're
even make.
rich.
I don't even know if we made enough money to pay for like the hosting fee.
No.
Brutal.
It was fine. It was worth it.
It
I regret
was.
nothing. I will never, for as much stress and headaches that website caused, I will never regret it. And I don't mean to be real like sappy, but like truly, like Tusky is one of the best friends that I have, and the group of people from that site that I'm still in touch with are. I mean, I talk to you all every single day. Like the garden is
Yeah.
dead, but those friendships are not, and I could not be more grateful. Honestly,
It's really nice to have a group of people that like we can just talk about this with without it being like kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's a couple
Yeah.
people in my real life that I've told about this, but because they weren't involved in it, they're just like, "Oh, you were part of some like website where you talked about YouTubers," and I'm like,
yeah.
"It's not about the YouTubers, it's about the friendships we made along the way."
Exactly.
But it is kind of funny with the last couple of weeks that like at our hearts we all still really want to talk about this stuff, even though we spend most of our time talking about everything else going on in
I
our
know,
lives.
like most of
Yeah.
our
It's
like,
conversations
wow.
about so much other shit, but you know, we'll always have a place in our heart to talk shit
Yeah.
about Colleen. So
Yeah.
We'll never forget our roots, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean we have a little YouTube channel to gossip. I just keep
We
looking
do.
at it right now and seeing who is Colleen.
Who is Colleen?
That really
Yeah,
brought
we
us
do.
back down to earth.
We do have the one user that we've brought in but was not part of the garden.
Yeah, and she's like just enjoying.
Yeah, she's
Us
like, I don't
being
know
able
what
to
is going on,
gossip.
but I'm here for it.
Yes. He's getting a crash course on all things Colleen.
Plus, there's nobody else who can laugh at the severe cyberbullying I've from these people. Like when I read those screenshots, you're a coward. have fun sitting on top of the molehill. I don't know, whatever the fuck she said. Like, it's
Oh,
just fucking funny, and I don't have anyone else really to enjoy it with me. So
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
why
we
I
definitely
really
all got
appreciate
subjected
you
to
guys.
a high amount of verbal abuse from both
Seriously,
guarded members and Colleen's minions, honestly.
yeah,
We were not loved by any.
no.
No. But you know
And as
what?
much as
But
it
each
I
sucks
regret
to
other.
nothing.
happen, it's really funny to look back on it now.
That's true.
Like, I feel like, well, I love the gossip, I'll always love the gossip. It's who I am at my very core.
Yes.
I feel like like you said, I'll never regret it purely for the friends I made from it. Like,
And you know what the worst part of it all is?
what?
I have to thank Josh for it.
Thanks, Josh.
If he had not tweeted about I found this really cool bakery and like then the replies to that, I was like, there are other people out there that think what I'm thinking because I felt so isolated. I'm like, why does everyone not see how shitty this all is?
I know.
And I don't think I would have ever like Googled to find out if there was like a forum or anything. But after he had tweeted out about it, I went and sought out the bakery and joined, and it
Oh my
changed my
gosh.
whole fucking life. So thank
So
you, Josh.
crazy.
We've had our ups
Thanks
and
for
downs,
cheating
but
on your
thank
husband,
you.
Colleen. That was really slay of
Yeah,
you.
Colleen, thanks.
What a queen. We love the queen of cheating. I'm sorry, Josh, but Pamela's way better. You're so much better off. I know it sucked, but you're better off. Yeah, I can't even quite remember how everything started. I think I just like was side DMing you like I have your back, but I was also like scared of the people on the bakery.
No, you literally just DM'd. We were talking on the bakery or something, and you DM'd me a link to something, a video of yours on YouTube.
Wow, I must have been feeling bold.
You were. It
You had
paid
good
off.
vibes.
I have good vibes, people on the garden who don't like me.
One of these days, after maybe like 6 or 7 years, I might actually meet Tusky in person. We'll see.
It's true.
She lives so very far away.
So
hey,
far.
I've moved closer to you. You have no excuse.
You did move closer, I will give you that.
Yeah, slightly. All right. Is there more to discuss, or should we
I
wrap
mean, there's
things
a
up?
lot more to discuss, but
I know.
it's already an hour and 20 minutes, so I don't want to
Yeah.
make it a feature-length movie necessarily.
Okay. Maybe we'll
Listen,
cliffhanger
okay,
it.
I just have one last thing to say, and it's to Adam if he listens to this.
Oh shit.
And
Okay.
it's just, can you please make your videos shorter? I have ADHD. I don't want to watch 2 hours of content to get the good goss.
Please, Adam,
Appreciate
we're
you, thank
begging.
you.
Or if you could like even put in like those little markers of like the
Oh,
topics.
Marcus would be so
Oh yeah,
good.
chapters. That would be amazing, Adam.
10
Because
out of
we
10.
like we know a lot of the stuff, but then I want to hear the new stuff. So then I could just be like, I can go to this. No disrespect to you, but I also like I struggle with long videos. That's why I feel bad that this is now almost an hour and a half long. Because I'm like, I wouldn't even listen to this.
Well, to be fair, it's a podcast, right? They're supposed to
Yeah.
be long
True.
and annoying.
Yeah.
It's true.
But no, please do that. And also, fuck Cody. That's all. That's all I have
Yes.
to say.
Yeah.
You know, the Cody thing has been a roller coaster because she was our arch nemesis. Then I was like, now she's on our side, and now I'm like, Cody, I don't know about you anymore. I'm sorry, dear, but I wish
know
you
it's
well.
hard to tell what their intentions truly are because it flip flops so much.
I think
Yes.
they're just going with what fills their heart with joy at that moment.
It really seems like it. Yeah, it's like how can I
Like-
benefit from this personally, and when
Yeah.
it stops benefiting me, then I no longer claim that energy anymore.
It's like the dopamine boost you get from it, I think.
Yeah.
Which I'm in mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I don't like Cody. But I think their video on us is really funny. And that's all I have to say.
It's true.
Cody and I went from enemies to acquaintances to she deleted my number from her phone and then didn't know who I was when I texted her.
Cody,
so
that was rude.
I know. I can't believe you would give me your phone number and then not even add me as a contact. I'll never forgive you for that. But yeah, I don't know. Like we kind of resolved our shit because Cody and I have had our fair share of fights.
Yeah.
Especially publicly. Like I have ripped into her and then had to apologize because I was like, I think at one point I DM'd them and I was just like, yeah, I kind of went a little bit too far. My bad.
A little
And we
sauce.
resolved our shit and we were like on okay terms. But
Yeah.
it's hard, you know, all of these years later, seeing how they really were a vital part in orchestrating, you know, the takedown against Adam, and to see how they came back just because they were like, not even to vindicate Adam, but I don't know, it just seems like there was always ulterior motives, and then the
Yeah.
whole like, oh, this is I started this and I discovered this thumbnail and I did this and I did that, and it's like it's really not about you. And I hope that you made enough money from the situation to buy your new computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
really
that's
hope
a
so. I hope
nice
that if that
computer.
one thing came out of it, that you got your new computer.
Yeah.
And perhaps you should stay offline.
Yeah.
Like maybe don't install the internet on your new computer if you got one.
No.
Just keep using Microsoft Edge. You'll be fine. You don't need any other browsers. Just calm down.
True.
Yeah.
Is it over? Can we say
I
goodbye
think
now?
so.
We're really bad at this. We always have
Hey.
been.
No.
See y'all later. Bye.
Okay, bye
See y'all later,
everybody.
Chai.
Like and subscribe and become a cat today.
Please don't
Yes.
subscribe to my channel. I hate it here.